I want to preface this by saying that you're already perfect just the way you are. You're already unique. So that means that you're special. That means that you bring something to the world that no one else has. You bring something to the party that no one else could ever bring. So number one, you're perfect just the way you are. Hello and welcome to the first episode of Ask Patrick. I've got 3 questions and I'm going to answer them all today. And as always, if you have a question for me, whether it be about my life and the things that I do, or a question that's going to help you become a better version of you, then please let me know via Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Question 1 is from JRenee06 from Hawaii. And this was asked on Instagram, and she asked, how do you stay motivated to train and work out, and who is your biggest inspiration? The way I stay motivated to train and work out every day, you have me on Instagram, so no doubt you are bored of seeing me in the gym every day working out, which is pretty much most of my life. I do it almost every single day. The thing that keeps me motivated and inspired to work out is my goals. It's the vision I have for what I want my legacy to be in my sport, and that's what keeps me going. If I didn't have those goals, I don't know if I mean, maybe I'd work out, but it's definitely not every day. If I didn't have that same motivation that my goals bring me, I probably wouldn't. An interesting thing, when I was maybe 16, 17 years old, I was playing basketball in a place called Kingsland. And I had a teammate called Sol, and he was a big American guy. He was a professional player, and he worked out all the time. I mean, like, he was in the gym all the time, and after his workouts, he was taking shakes and stuff. And this was back when, like, gyms weren't really popular. Working out wasn't really popular. And I'd only just started on my journey to going to the gym and working out. But to answer this question, I had that struggle too. Like, I struggled to go consistently, to have the motivation to go. And so one day I plucked up the courage on, I think we were a minibus back after a game late at night, and I went and sat next to him and I said, can I ask you a question? How do you keep going and working out all the time? How do you find the motivation and the discipline to keep working out so consistently? It seems like nothing ever stops you. And I remember him thinking for a second and putting his little shake or whatever he had down. And he said, I look at it like a religion. Like, it's not something I get a choice about. He said that he goes to the gym because he made the decision a long time ago that he wanted to be the best he could be. And that's his religion. So if you're a Christian or a Muslim or any other religion, and you go about your life, you don't think, oh, today I'm going to be a Christian, today I'm going to be a Muslim, today I'm going to believe this, today I'm going to be that. You just are. So what I took from what he said was that if I make the commitment to myself and to my goals that I'm going to go, then really I don't get a choice. I don't get to choose, oh, I'll go to the gym today. My goals, my religion tells me I have to. So maybe his advice will help you too. As far as who's my biggest inspiration, I have tons of inspiration. In basketball, I have a guy called LeBron James. He's my favourite player. He does a lot for the sport on and off the court. He's a really good guy. I really want to meet him one day. So if you're watching, LeBron, sort it out. Tony Robbins in the personal development world is a huge inspiration to me. I genuinely think he's one of the greatest human beings on earth, and he's changed my life through his books and his videotapes and audio tapes, things that I've used. He's a huge inspiration to me. When it comes to working out, my biggest inspiration is actually me. That sounds a little weird maybe, but what I mean is when I'm working out, my biggest motivation is the version of me that I see in my mind. When I'm working out, trying to create the body I want, I'm seeing it not as it is now, but I'm seeing me in 20 workouts time, in 50, 1,000 workouts time, 5, 10 years time. It's the vision I have in my head of myself in the future that is my biggest inspiration. Because for me, there's just something about, it's like the sculpture of David, where you have this just big piece of marble and you keep chipping away, and it looks like a big old mess for a long time, but eventually you pick the last bit off and you have this beautiful statue. That's kind of how I envision myself in my head and my workouts. And for me, how I look is a byproduct of my workouts, because I'm doing it in order to be the best athlete I can be for my sport, for basketball. So looking good is kind of comes second to my performance on the court, but it obviously plays a part in your head. So those are just a few of my inspirations. I have a lot in different areas. Thank you very much for your question. I appreciate it and I hope I helped. Okay, question 2 from Alison in Toronto, Canada. What's up, Alison? She asked, how would you integrate a new daily activity into your life and stick to it? And what tools, tips and tricks do you have to stay mentally healthy and positive? Okay, that's kind of a 2-part question, so I'll try and answer it in 2 parts. How do you integrate a new daily activity into your life and stick to it? Okay, easiest answer for me comes right to my head is do it for 30 days straight, whatever it is. So I think you said like working out. If you want to have working out become a habit, you have to do it for 30 straight days, no matter what it is, whether it be brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, driving a certain way, or speaking in a certain way, or learning a new language, whatever it is, you have to do it for 30 days consecutively, every single day, because everything I've read, and I've read tons of books on personal development and how to be successful in your own life, and it says that if you want to form a habit, you must do it for a minimum of 30 days straight. So if you want to work out, I suggest, my opinion, my idea to give to you would be to do it every single day for 30 days. Now that doesn't mean you have to do a crazy long workout every day for 30 days because your body couldn't take it. What I'm talking about is the process. The reason most people don't go to the gym is because of the process. The process of, I've got to get up, I've got to have something to eat, I've got to pack my gym bag, I've got to get dressed into my gym clothes, I've got to get in my car, I've got to drive to the gym, I've got to say hello to the person in the front, I've got to go upstairs, I've got to get changed. Everyone thinks about the process instead of the feeling that you're going to get once you leave the gym. So the hardest bit is the process. What you're going to do is you're going to get in your car and you're going to go to the gym every single day for 30 days straight. This will form a habit for you. Once you've formed a habit, it's harder to break it. So that's part 1 of the question. Do it for 30 days straight. That's the best way to stick to it. Also after that, you're also going to need some motivation to set your goal and look at it every single day. The second part, any tools, tips and tricks to stay mentally healthy and positive? The best way to stay positive is to have a positive mindset. And that's a lot more easier said than done, I know. But it comes from you making the decision, the actual resolution to always see the best in people, see the best in things, see the best in life. And once you make the decision that, you know what, stuff's going to happen, but I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm not going to let negative things turn me negative. I choose to be a positive person. I choose to be a happy person. And for this reason, when the next challenge comes along, and I promise you, no matter who you are, where you are in the world, no matter how good looking, successful, rich, how much you've achieved, no matter who you are, the world is full of change. Change is the only thing that's ever brought progress, but it also brings a lot of problems. And people struggle with these issues. So what you have to do is say, I am choosing to be a positive person. I'm choosing not to let negative circumstances turn me negative. So there you go. Change your mindset, decide that you want to be positive. That will be the biggest thing. And understand that your happiness and your existence is at stake when it comes to your positivity. You don't have to be positive, you can be negative, but you'll be miserable. And who wants to spend their whole life being miserable? Choose to be positive. Okay, so those are your 2 questions, or your 1/2 questions, Alison. Thank you very much for asking. Question 3 from Maria in Serbia. What's up, Maria? How you doing? She asks, I want to ask you how to overcome low self-esteem. I seem to have that problem and it impedes me to progress more than I already do. I would love to hear your opinion. Okay, I'm having low self-esteem. I remember this question, and I asked you if there was a particular area of your life which you had low self-esteem, and you said no, just in general. So that gives a little bit of a better understanding for the audience at home. If you have low self-esteem, there's obviously reasons for that. There's things that have happened in your past which has caused you to view yourself in a lesser way than perhaps you should. I want to preface this by saying that you're already perfect just the way you are. You're already unique. So that means that you're special. That means that you bring something to the world that no one else has. You bring something to the party that no one else could ever bring. So number one, you're perfect just the way you are. So hopefully that raises your self-esteem just a tiny bit. But for me, I've had low self-esteem in the past as well. There's areas in my life where I have low self-esteem even now. The secret is not to let it stop you. So low self-esteem is kind of like fear and insecurity. If you focus on your fear and you let it paralyze you, then that's exactly what it will do. But if you choose to ignore it, if you choose to feel the fear and do it anyway, if you choose to feel the low self-esteem or the insecurities and then act anyway, especially in the areas which you have low self-esteem. Now, obviously I haven't met you in person, so I can't tell you what you look like or things about your life, but I would potentially have low self-esteem. For instance, here's a story. When I was in college, when I first went to college in America, every single new class, everyone would have to get up and say, hello, my name's Patrick, I'm from England, blah, blah. Okay? And that tiny little thing that everyone else in the class had to do as well, the closer it got to me, my stomach was in knots. Like, I was like sweating, I didn't want to say it, I felt like I was going to mess up and all of a sudden forget my name. So I had really low self-esteem when it came to my ability to speak in public. And I hated that about myself. I felt like it held me back. So what I did in my senior year of college is I made a real emphasis on becoming a better speaker. And long story short, now obviously you know I'm doing things like this, and I'm a professional speaker and I get paid to give motivational speeches and things like that around the world. So something that started with really low self-esteem and no confidence at all has turned into now one of my biggest strengths in life. So whatever it is, whatever areas that you have, and feel free to message me and I can maybe help on a more micro level. I want you to understand that no matter what it is, if you improve in that area, you will feel better about yourself. And also understand that you are the only person in control of your life and how you feel. I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt that said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. So I understand that there may have been things that happened in the past that cause you to, oh, well, if this person said I'm this or that, then maybe I am. The only person that can truly judge you is yourself, because we judge other people on their actions, but we judge ourselves on our thoughts and how we feel. So take the time to figure out, hopefully you were watching the live feed before, when I talked about me setting goals and how once you have a vision for your future, that you can become that. I believe that if you took the time to set goals for this year, to sit down and realise where you're unhappy and where you want to be in the future, I genuinely believe those goals will help you to raise your self-esteem and improve your life in so many areas. So, thank you for your question, Maria. Thank you all you girls, Alison, Maria and Renee, thank you for your questions. Everyone else watching this, either live or if you're watching it on my vlog. I'd love for you guys to ask me questions. Hashtag Ask Patrick on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, or you can send me a message on any one of those 3 platforms. I'd love to hear from you, and more importantly, I'd love to help you.